Hello, it's Nikki. How are you doing? I hope you're well. I hope you're good. Today I want to talk about pricing. And yes, I am sitting on the floor to do this. Do you ever do that in your house where suddenly you're sitting on your kitchen floor or your living room floor and you can't quite remember how you got there? But we are where we are. So today I want to talk about packaging your services and really understanding why you are doing that package in the way that you're doing it and who is it for. And the reason that I say this is over the weekend, since I did my my software update and my backup, I had a really good route around in my website. And already I'm planning for 2022 and thinking, right, where do I go next? And what do I want to do? And if you know me, if you've listened and watched for a while, you will know that I'm all about sussing out what's working right now and what's happening. And I think it's only when you go in and you almost view your pricing and your packaging as a customer, that's when it gives you really vital, good information. So today I want you to do the same, to go onto your website and see what you have for sale. And this is not about being critical or, really going too much into the numbers, although you can, because that might give you really valuable information as well. But I want you to look first and foremost at what you're selling and ask yourself, how does it feel? Does what you're selling right now feel representative of you? And do you really like doing those things? Now, there may be a point, and this may be the point in the year where you're like, Nikki, beggars can't be choosers. Like, let's just get the money in. Let's get our heads down and do what we need to do. And let's not mess around with the formula. I get that. This is not about like wiping your whole website and going, right, I'm going to start from scratch. Here we go. Let's be a maverick. Let's do things differently. This is also about being careful. And it's never it's always on a spectrum, I would say. So we're looking at little tiny tweaks that we can do to ultimately get closer to the picture that you want to have for your business. I would never just say like, right, just wipe it and then start from scratch, because there'll be some really great stuff in there and there'll be some really great stuff that we're working already. So let me backtrack a little bit. Sorry, there's a really noisy motorbike, but I live in London. This is the situation sometimes. So when I qualified as a coach a decade ago, I was really resistant around the following question. And maybe you've been asked it in the past and you've experienced this as well. And that resistance was around the question around niching, because everybody was encouraging me to niche to the point where they wanted me to have like one name for that person. They wanted a really, really small age gap of, they're between 36 and 40. They wanted to know exactly sort of what part of the country that they would live in, or their marital status, or whether or not they had children. And when I first started, I was really sort of vague, but the one niche I guess that I knew was actors. And so I started to, when I was asked that question, start saying that I was going to support actors, because I'd been an agent already. I'd been an actor for a long time and I really understood that market. I understood how to get people from where they are right now to the next level. And I guess I knew the personality of lots of actors, and I knew the environment and what else might have been going on in their lives. But I knew ultimately I didn't want to work with just actors. There was a bigger mission. There was more, let's just say. So very quickly I started to move away from actors, not entirely, but I started to say actors and creatives. And then I had to get a bit more specific of like, what do I actually mean by creatives? And then I discovered by using the word creative, I could actually put all creative people under. So as the years went on, many of the actors started to move away because I wasn't creating as much content around that. And who came forward was a really interesting bunch of people. And these have been my people, I would say, for the last 8 years. And these people, I would say, come under, I'm doing this live while I'm talking to you, but let me just do it. Here we go. This is a bit of live podcasting stuff for you. Just let me get my laptop and then I can find it. And if you're watching this on video, I'm so sorry that you're witnessing this live version. But what I wanted to talk about is where I'm up to. Here we go. I found it. Thanks for bearing with. So one of the, I guess, parts of my website that I've finally brought together is that I have recently worked with, and remember this came from the band of creatives. Recently I've worked with creatives, founders, journalists, leaders, stylists, speakers, CEO, digital experts, healers, teachers, medical professionals, rule makers, lawyers, rule breakers, monetizing a non-traditional career, curating a portfolio career on their terms, innovators, technology trailblazers, dreamers, foodies, raconteurs, game changers, artists, designers, storytellers, strategists, well-being experts, band members who want to become solo artists, aka 9-to-5ers who want to create their own gig. Now, I'm sure those people who trained me as a coach are shuddering at the thought of me supporting all of those people. But do you know what? It works. Because I know for me, to keep my business fresh, I love that sense of making things bespoke, of really understanding what that person is all about and supporting them through that. And really looking at the nuance of that character. So as an actor, if I read a piece of script and I'd be making decisions about who that person was and what they were all about, and I saw that they were quite angry or they were prone to an argument, I couldn't just go on the stage or on the telly set and go, whoa, and have that anger all the way through, because anger is a spectrum. You know, sometimes you can be angry, but you're not screaming and shouting. It's just bubbling under the surface, and it's an eye contact, or it's your back changes, or you're doing your dishes in a certain way, or you're typing in there's so many things to that. And so what I urge you to do is to do this exercise as almost like a character exercise of who is coming to you and for what. And so what I urge you to do in this is to get to the heart of the person, not necessarily the boxes that you need to tick of like they are. It's not like Guess Who, like they are a woman, they wear glasses, they have grey hair. This is about how are they feeling? What are their struggles? What's going on for them right now? Where are they in their life and their business? And depending on what you do or what you sell, I really want you to think about that customer's journey up until this point. So to give you an example of why this is really important is because I might have that big kind of list. They might all be people who purchase from my website, but they might buy different things at different times. So I've also known this as well with clients that I've had, that some of my clients have been with me for 5, 6, 7 years. And I absolutely love that, because I've been able to be by their side, and then sometimes they go and they do something else, or they work with somebody else, or they get another piece of the puzzle that they need for their business, and then they come back. Or like there's certain people who, for example, I started off really helping them transition from the 9 to 5, and now their brand is really up and running, and they're thinking, oh, I'd like to move into speaking now, so maybe Nicky can help me with that. So it's really important that when you look at your pricing menu, when you look at your lists of services, that you have an understanding of where that person is right now, because that will help you to price it, to package it, and to be able to deliver it. So there will be some people who want, for example, on my website, the full shebang. They want to really build their personal brand. Maybe they've been not floating around, but maybe just kind of feeling things out for a couple of years, and they're ready to go into fifth gear. Like, come on, right, let's do this. And I sometimes get that energy at the beginning of the year of, come on, Nikki, like, I've been watching you for a while, 3 months, let's go. Great, brilliant. But some people still need to almost feel like, and I call it almost like the affair from the spare room, or the affair from the early morning on the sofa, where somebody gets that niggle, that feeling of, I got to make a change. There's something else going on. Or like, oh, I saw my friend from work left and went freelance. Maybe I could do that. Or they see somebody online that sparks their interest, and suddenly they're like, well, I make good food. Maybe I could create a personal, maybe how could that be? And so if I suddenly turn to that person and said, look, I've got a 4 grand program for you to buy, they might be thinking, whoa, hang on a minute. I don't even know what this thing is yet. Like, I'm not ready. Like, that seems too much. What's that all about? Absolutely fine. And I would agree with that completely. But spending 50 quid on a course or something that was going to help them get started, absolutely, I would recommend that, because they can start to take those first steps. For example, looking at who their ideal clients are, or so you could get that from the pick and mix shop, or looking at how to price and package your services. So you could just get that little course under the pricing and packaging part of my website. So this is my invitation for you today, to really think about why you are doing what you're doing, why you are offering certain things at certain times, and to who. What is really going on for them? And of course, there's not necessarily going to be like one through line of like, oh, everybody at this point is going to be thinking about this. But there may be a smaller niche. So for example, you might work with parents, but you may work with them at that point where their children have gone to school. So that will be a dramatic shift for them in terms of their availability, their capacity, maybe what they want to do, how they want to run their lives. And I know that I'll have that moment in 2023 when my daughter goes to school. So yeah, there's lots in there. In terms of going forward, how can I help around this topic? The first one, Money Chat. You can go and find more Money Chat podcast episodes under podcast on my website. The second thing I would maybe recommend that you have a look at is the Ideal Clients training, which is in my pick and mix shop. And thirdly, if you want to go a bit deeper, go to the pricing and packaging course, and you can also buy it just as a course if you prefer to work independently, or you can add on a one-on-one with me. So you can work through the course, and then I will send you pre-work, and then when we meet and we go through things together, you'll be able to say, look, this is what I'm offering at the moment, this is what I'm thinking. And because I've got that pre-work, I can fully plan for our session together, and also get myself at a point where I'm really familiar with your business and what you're all about. And yeah, there's always loads of juicy questions in there. So I will leave it there for now. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, and I can't wait to hear what you do with this. This is really important. So don't just listen. I want you to grab that piece of paper and a pen now and start to scribble, and be willing to get it wrong, I guess. Certainly, even a decade in, I am still making tweaks and changes and really refining what I do. So give yourself that grace of it being a work in progress, because it absolutely is. And I guess enjoy the process as well. All right, I'm sending you lots of love, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye.